Hello there, Leo. Thank you so much for stopping by for your weekly tarot video forecast. This forecast is for the week of April the 18th through the 24th. We are going to be looking, let's see, Saturday through Friday. Had a little brain fart there, excuse me. So while I'm shuffling, let me just remind y'all that this is a collective reading, which means that not everything I see here is going to apply for every single Leo who watches this video. However, most of it will apply for most of you. Okay, so let's get our cards down. We're going to do one per day, get an idea of the highlights of each day, possibly even the themes of the week if that happens to come out. Let's see what we have showing up, showing up. Okay, so looking at Saturday and Sunday's card to start off with, we have the Tower in reverse. Woot woot. I really like this card, by the way. And then Sunday we have the Two of Swords in reverse. Not as much of a likable card, but not terrible either. So Saturday with this Tower coming up in reverse, this is telling me that there has been something, some kind of big major shakeup that has happened in your life, and it's left you feeling like something that made you feel secure before is just no longer in your experience. But when the Tower comes up in reverse, that means that you're now finding something to replace whatever that was. And by replacing whatever that was, you're actually finding that this new thing that you're replacing the old thing with is actually much better. So there's much more room for you to grow and to expand in this new thing. So very good, very good. This talks about not only surviving that shakeup, but now thriving actually because of that shakeup. So that's awesome for Saturday. We love to see that. On Sunday, Two of Swords coming up in reverse. Two of Swords in reverse just means you're having a hard time making a decision. You can't really figure out which side of the fence you want to come down on. So the thing is, if somebody's pressuring you to get this decision made today, try to buy some time so that you can make a decision that you feel comfortable with whenever you let people know what it is. And if this is something where you're the one putting pressure on you, because we can do that, then allow yourself the time to sit with this and to let the resolution or the answer to this question come up, or this decision come up in a way that feels good to you, that you resonate with, so that you don't have to look back later and go, man, I made a bad decision. Really regret that. Don't put yourself in that position. Nothing has to happen this red hot minute in most cases. So let's not push it, push it, push it. Let's just let the answer come to us in the way that it needs to. All right. Now let's look at our week, Leos. So we have the Temperance card in reverse for Monday. And by the way, those of you who have not been to my channel before, so far we've got 3 reversals. We've got one more coming up. I just want you to know reversals are not necessarily a bad thing, and I don't see them as a bad thing whenever I read. I know a lot of readers will tell you, oh, reversals are always negative. Well, I mean, I guess maybe in their world, but in my world, not so much. So we don't worry about them here. All right. Now, sometimes reversals are actually better than the right side up versions. Tuesday, we have, what do we have? We have death in reverse. Once again, don't panic. Wednesday, we have judgment, right side up. Thursday, we have the 8 of chalices. And Friday, we have the devil. Interesting, huh? All right, so let's see. Hmm. Just noticing some things about that card I never noticed before. We'll have to come back to that because I want to go in order. So starting with Monday, Temperance in reverse. Can talk about this idea of things feeling out of balance. Can also talk about the idea that maybe we are feeling addicted to something, whether it's video games or things that we're ingesting or whatever, but we're recognizing that things are out of balance, that we're doing something obsessively, or we're thinking about something obsessively or whatever. And so when we're recognizing that, we're getting ready to try to bring that to an end, to formulate a plan to bring that things back into balance in our lives and to have some temperance in our lives. Very good, very good. Let's look at Tuesday. Death in reverse. Now, I really like that, especially following this temperance in reverse, because what did I just say? Now you're making a plan to let go of whatever this is that has been out of balance in your life, whether it's an obsession, addiction, whatever. This death in reverse says you're holding your own. So here you've kind of made the plan. Now, this red card, you're holding your own. You're not letting people talk you out of it. Like for an example, because you guys know, those of you who've been following me a while, you know that drinking is something that I'm pretty familiar with. And so say that what you're giving up is drinking, then this would talk about your friends saying, "Hey, come on out, let's go to the bar, let's have a cocktail, let's talk, let's chit chat, blah blah blah." This is you saying, "Nah, I'm not really feeling that right now," and not doing it, holding up to this plan or this strategy you put together when you realize, man, things are out of balance. I got to do something about it. Okay. Now, it doesn't have to be that the thing out of balance is your drinking level. Okay. That's just an example. Just an example because I'm familiar with people with that issue. Now, let's look at Wednesday. Judgment card coming up here. This just tells me that on Wednesday, you have an opportunity to put your energies and your efforts back into something that has come back from the past. So if it could be an old job, could be an old relationship, could be an old project, could be an old, maybe your bowling league wants you to get back on the league with them or whatever, or your bowling team or whatever, however that works with bowling. You can tell I'm just not a sports person, y'all. Like in any way, shape, or form. My idea of exercise is walking, okay? So I know nothing about sports, but could be somebody from an old sports team saying, come back. Can be a lot of things. This can play out a zillion one different things, but you're given the opportunity to put your energy and efforts back into something that you used to put them into in the past. And you're going to do it because this card came up right side up. This means you're going to decide to go ahead and do that, okay? Now, looking at Thursday, what's going on here actually? Let me just check in for a second. Okay. All right. So Thursday, you have the Eight of Chalices. This is my walk away card. We're walking away from something, somebody, a relationship or an old habit. Well, what were we working on Monday? On Monday, we were working on getting rid of an old habit that made us feel out of balance. We were holding our own pretty good on Tuesday. Thursday, we're walking away again. So somewhere between Tuesday and Thursday, we might have fallen off the wagon. It's okay. You're getting back up again. This Eight of Chalices, walking back away from it again. I like it. I like it. And this judgment card could even be an old friend saying, hey, come out. Come out and play. You do it. And then the very next day, you're walking away. So I'm proud of you because you did not stay down. Like you picked yourself right back up. That's awesome. I'm saying you picked yourself right back up as if it's already happened just because the cards are on the table. But we know this is happening next week, or at least this is the forecast. Now, what do I always tell you guys? Remember this. If you see something that you don't like, you've got free will. Do things differently. Make my cards liars and make your week turn out better than what is turning up here. Won't hurt my feelings. Not at all. I like to see you guys do well. Okay, so last card that we have coming up, we already talked about a little bit. This is the Devil card. Devil card, Devil card. I do kind of want to study him because there's something here catching my eye that I've never really noticed before. Isn't this interesting? So maybe I'm not seeing it like correctly in the physical, but I will tell you how I'm seeing this and how it's hitting me psychically. But you see what that devil is sitting on? See all that brighter yellow? That looks like some kind of, I don't know, snake, lizard skin, something. But it also implies to me like the soft underbelly, like he's sitting on top of some kind of animal that's laying, probably sleeping with his belly in the air, and maybe even tickling that soft underbelly. Okay, so when we have this card coming up, Thursday we saw you walking away. This card coming up Friday says, man, this walking away from this thing is not as easy as I thought it would be. There's something about this thing that has me fascinated and addicted and just obsessed that it's not that easy to walk away from. Like there's something about it that makes me feel good, makes me feel joy, makes me feel pleasure. And so we see it here. Really, it's pulling your puppet strings if you want to say the real deal. Like whatever this is, it's kind of pulling your puppet strings by Friday. Monday, you're making a plan. How am I going to stop this? Friday, you're kind of back into it. All right. Well, I don't want you to get down about this because here's what I think. I think that you've got some good practice at getting away from whatever this is. Now, if you're falling back into it and letting it pull your puppet strings again, then it's just time to go back and make a new strategy, make a better strategy. What can you learn from whenever you fell off the wagon, so to speak? And how can you use that information to improve the next strategy so the next time you take a run at this, at creating your temperance, the next time you take a run at this, now you're armed with that much more information to help you. Okay. If you guys, for those of you who this is actually an addiction, which it's not going to be that big of a deal for all of you, but for those of you that this is actually an addiction that we're looking at, if you're having this hard of a time, please don't beat up on yourself, but get some help. Don't try to do this all by yourself. Generally, addictions are bigger than us, so get some help. My dad has been going to AA meetings every day. I mean, if he misses a day, it's like maybe the world is stopping. Because I don't know if he misses a day out of a year. But anyway, my dad's been going to AA meetings since 2 weeks before I turned 21. And I am 31 for the 25th time now. So that's been a very long time. And that's where he was able to find his help. I'm not sure if that's what kind of help you need. I'm not sure if that's even your issue. But when you like spend the week dealing with something like this, maybe it's time to get help. You know what I mean? Maybe it's time to talk to somebody that can help you actually, crawl up into the lifeboat and come to some safety. Asking for help is never a bad thing because we really impact each other by how we live our lives and by how we interact with each other in living our lives. And that if we're in a situation where we feel like we're not being our best self as we're interacting with other people, the best thing we can do is get help so that we can get back on track and be our best self. Help is only going to take you so far. You have to do a lot of the work yourself, but help will get you that leg up so that you can start actually making some progress forward if you haven't been able to so far. So after seeing like you struggling and kind of dealing with the swinging door all week, I definitely would recommend that y'all get some help this week. Talk to somebody who has done what you want to do that can help you reach the goal and the results that they've already got. Okay? So that's what I've got for you guys. I hope that you have a fantastic week. I hope that you get help earlier rather than later so that you don't have to do the swinging door and you can just start, going in the positive direction, just straightforward. Yeah. And I'll see, of course, some of you here for a reading this week, and the rest of you, I'll see back on the next video. Peace out.